This story right here is extremely sad, disturbing. It's going to piss you off for sure, without a doubt. And the way I heard about it wasn't even from, I don't think any of my subscribers sent me anything about it, but I actually heard about it from someone who I follow on Instagram who went live, who was from Chicago, and they were talking about this particular story. And the way that they described the detail, it was like I almost cut the stream off. Like I almost stopped listening because it was so graphic in detail about what happened. So this little girl's name is Jaslyn Adams, and she was at the drive-thru of a McDonald's with her dad, just getting food. When all of a sudden, multiple shots went through the window of her dad's vehicle, and she got struck, I think, 6 times, and she died from her injuries. The dad, he got shot a couple of times, but they said he's still alive, but he's in the hospital right now. I don't know what his condition is as of right now. And this happened in Chicago. And when they said this happened in Chicago, I said I already know what kind of narrative they're going to try to use to spin this story for their own little, gain or whatever the case may be. Now, what I thought was interesting, not to put this to the side for a little bit, is that what happened with that 13-year-old Adam Toledo, when they said that happened in Chicago, notice that lamestream media, they could not spin it in the narrative that they really wanted to because of the location in which that particular shooting of that boy happened. And then he was shot by and killed by a cop. But now they have this story right here where apparently there was no cop involved, but it was just some random person. And what's scary about this is the fact that this happened in a drive-thru of a McDonald's. This didn't happen in a residential neighborhood. It happened at an establishment out in the open where there was a lot of people. And I would not be surprised if this was a targeted hit. What if the person was trying to come after her dad? They wouldn't have known she was in the car, but they probably knew what kind of car the dad drove. Or maybe it wasn't his car. Maybe it could have been the mother's car. I don't know. But to me, when someone does that, it seems targeted, not so much random. Now, this person was just shooting like crazy into the crowd and they just happened to hit this car, then okay, then you can say it was random. But what makes me wonder, or makes me say that it was targeted, is the fact that this girl was shot 6 times. So that means multiple bullets was literally coming right at this one vehicle. So I truly believe that this vehicle was targeted and the dad may have been the target. I could be wrong, but something tells me I might be right. But let me go ahead and get into this article. Chicago police are looking for whoever opened fire on a car Sunday afternoon, killing a 7-year-old girl on the city's west side. Jaslyn Adams and her 29-year-old father were in the drive-thru lane of a McDonald's when someone shot into their car. So there it is right there. It didn't say specifically into their car. So I truly believe that now my hunch might be correct that this was targeted. A police vehicle that was already at the scene rushed the girl to a hospital, Chicago police officer Sally Brown said. The girl was shot multiple times and pronounced dead. The male victim was shot in the torso and hospitalized in serious condition. No suspects have been arrested because it was pretty much a drive-by. It's really emotional now for my family, Jaslyn's aunt Tawny McMullen told WBBM. She was just sweet and outgoing, really talkative, and really lovable. McMullen said, "It is devastating that a regular father-daughter trip to McDonald's would end with her niece shot multiple times. Y'all please put the guns down," she said. "Our kids want to play. My kids can't even go out the door because of this violence. Please put the guns down." Mayor Lori Lightfoot says she is heartbroken and angered over the deadly shooting. "This unthinkable act of violence has no place here. The epidemic of gun violence cutting our children's lives short cannot go on," Lightfoot tweeted. I feel like sometimes Lori Lightfoot's head is somewhere in the clouds. Like every time I see her on screen, she just looks like she's in a daze somewhere. The shooting comes less than a month after another high-profile death of a child, 13-year-old Adam Toledo. Toledo was killed by a Chicago police officer on March 29th. Police say body cam footage shows less than a second pass between when the boy is seen holding a handgun and is shot by the officer. Now, this story right here, I can actually believe happened. Why? Because we actually see a victim. We actually see a face. We actually have a name of someone who was deceased from this, from gunfire. The rest of them ones that they be saying that be happening like in Chicago every other weekend, especially during holiday weekends where it has a whole bunch of shootings and they have no suspects and no victims present. At least with this one, we know that there was a victim. And see, now the weather's starting to get nice. People about to start being outside more often. They about to crank it up. But I do hope that they do find whoever is responsible for this little girl's murder, because that was absolutely unacceptable and uncalled for. But reading the details, this was targeted. Who I don't know if they probably going to question the dad. Do you think that there's anyone out there that would want you dead? Because they specifically targeted this car. It doesn't seem random to me. Or was the person they were looking for in a car, or have a car that looked like theirs and they thought it was someone else. That's the only other reasoning I could come up with. But other than that, I truly believe that her dad probably was the one that they were looking for, or the one who was targeted. And she unfortunately became a casualty of that. It's just sad all the way around. But I really do hope that they find whoever or whoever's, because it could be more than one person. It was probably that's responsible for that. But y'all let me know what y'all think about this down in the comments. Like, share, subscribe if you have not done so already. Make sure that you text the number that is pinned down in the comments below so you can receive notifications every time I upload a new video or go live. All right, so I'm throwing this little update in here, and thankfully I was sent this information before I had a chance to upload the video, so I wouldn't have to come back and add it in later. And this is a part of the Jaslyn Adams situation. Now, what you're seeing right here on your screen, and before I get into it, shout out to Counter Interior King for actually sending me the update. What you're seeing right here on your screen is the result of a high-speed chase involving the suspect that is responsible for the murder of Jaslyn Adams. Because apparently the person who killed her, he fled from police after he tried to carjack a family at another location. So that's how they were able to catch up to him, and then they basically had a shootout, and they were able to stop. I think they stopped him. He's not deceased. They still have him. We don't know what his name is. We don't even know his condition, but they did manage to capture him. And where my cursor is, you see this car right here? I want to say that's the car that he was in. I want to say that's the car he was in. Don't quote me on that, because there's a lot of cars on here. But you can tell which cars are just regular standard people driving and they got caught up in traffic versus and this one looks like it has windows, like windows was shattered. So I want to say that's the vehicle. I'm not entirely sure. But I'm going to go ahead and read this article that's coming from the Chicago Tribune, and it was posted on April 22nd, 2021. Chicago police shot a suspect in the murder of 7-year-old Jaslyn Adams multiple times after he fled from police and then tried to carjack a family on the Eisenhower Expressway on Thursday afternoon near West Suburban Hillside. Chicago Police Superintendent David Brown spoke to the media outside Area 4 headquarters, 3151 West Harrison Street, on Thursday evening. It started as a surveillance operation in a western suburb as police were following the suspect after he fled during an escape. He took off on the inbound Eisenhower and then crashed on the shoulder of the expressway as police tried to stop him. After crashing, he tried to carjack a family traveling in the same direction on the expressway. That's when police confronted him and an officer shot him multiple times. Though state police indicated the suspect also fired, Brown said this was not clear. Now, this says that he got shot multiple times, but not to the point where he's deceased. At that point, that was the point where you could have killed him. I'm just being honest. This man just got done murdering a little girl and almost killing her father in a drive-thru at a McDonald's. And then he did all of this afterwards. He just carjacked somebody. He led you in a high-speed chase. At that point, you should have showed, that would have been a time when you would have showed no mercy on him. We don't know if the offender shot back. We can't confirm it at this point. Brown said the investigation will reveal whether the offender shot back or not. The suspect shot in the arm did not suffer life-threatening injuries, according to police spokesman Tom Ahern. 2 guns were recovered from the suspect, and the suspect was taken to an area hospital where he was also placed under arrest. Brown confirmed the suspect is wanted in the fatal shooting of Jaslyn Adams and the wounding of her father, which happened Sunday in a McDonald's drive-thru. The Eisenhower shooting took place in the eastbound lanes near Manheim Road, near Hillside at 4:15 p.m. Thursday, Illinois. State Police Trooper Kyle Barrett said. State Police urged motorists to seek an alternative route. All eastbound lanes on I-290 at Manheim were closed due to police activity, state and Chicago police tweeted. The expressway shooting marked the second police shooting of the day after police shot at a 28-year-old man suspected in several crimes involving a weapon just prior to his arrest, when officers found him in the 606 trail Thursday morning, according to Chicago police. So that right there is the update. So they do now have the suspect who was involved with her murder. We still don't know who it is. Who knows when they're going to actually reveal who it is. But this is how it ended. It went from her being shot and killed inside of a drive-thru at a McDonald's with her dad, leading to a high-speed chase, a carjacking, and then what you see right now on your screen. But I'm glad that they did capture this individual, and I'm sure there's going to be some more details that's going to come from it, such as his identity, because at this point I want to know who it is. Like, I want to see a face and a name. But y'all let me know what y'all think down in the comments, and I'll talk to you in the next one.